but I'm going to try to go over some of the same material here to show you what is happening in the 3 rooms. So let me just show you what we are going to do here in the main room, because I noticed that there might be some people that will not be able to go to the main room. We noticed that when we were organizing this, or people that just were not sure what room to go to, or those that are watching us on the Facebook Live do not have the possibility to go to the different rooms and find out what is happening there. So we are going to show you here what is happening in the different rooms and give you kind of the highlights of what is happening instead. So there are people that are choosing a room based on theme, and they're looking at the Padlets there, and they're sharing the information that is in the Padlets there in a room. What we are going to do here together, for those of you watching on Facebook Live, or for those of you who were not able to enter a room, is that I'm going to show you what is happening in the 3 different rooms. So I'm going to show you one Padlet from each room so that you get an idea of the information that is being shared there. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you my screen with sound, just in case. And so this is the session where we are in now, according to the conference program. I share the conference program on the chat box, but I think also the team is helping us share the conference program on the Facebook Live chat as well, okay? So we are in this session, and here you have a list of the different presenters and an abstract, not really the abstract, but kind of a key idea about what is being mentioned in the different rooms. So if you go to the program, you're going to find the name of the room and the key topic, the key theme being discussed there, and the different presenters. And at the top here, you would see there is a link to the different Padlets, okay? So this link is going to take you to the Padlet that is being discussed. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to just open 3 different Padlets, one from each room, so that you get an idea of what it's there for you to see, okay? So in this case, we are going to first see the first Padlet from room number 1, which is called Materials and Decolonization. And we are going to look at this Padlet produced by Linda Rua and Duso Flavian. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm so sorry. I'm doing to you what everybody does to me. But the idea is just to show your Padlet and share also with you the video that they have prepared. So what they're doing in the room and what we are going to do with you is just to show you what they prepared for you. They prepared a Padlet in which they go over in detail about the different parts of the initiative that they want to share. And in here, as you can see, it's all information there with a lot of content and information that you can see later in your own time. We are going to give you time later to go over the different Padlets, but the idea is that we now look at the video, okay? So I'm going to share with you the video. I'm going to open it up. Yes.
Hello, I'm Flavien, a university English language teacher in Benin.
Hi, I'm Linda. I'm a teacher trainer and ESOL teacher in the UK.
We have been working together discussing many different topics around teaching and global issues for several years now.
And we've both learned a great deal from each other and about our different teaching contexts and realities.
And what we both have in common is a great interest in bringing global issues into class and creating materials for our teaching context to do this.
And in doing this, we realized that we are decentering our ELT by moving away from traditional materials in both our contexts, which usually focus on English-speaking countries such as the UK and the US.
And my materials, a series of 7 course books for secondary school learners in Benin, in West Africa, of course, have taken African topics such as local health and education, food and festivals, transport and energy, politics and gender, all contextualized with the West African reality. We have photos of Africans, practice exercises and dialogues between Beninese, and texts that the learners can relate to in their own reality.
And they're great materials. I've seen them all. And my materials, a free website with hundreds of lessons on PowerPoint and PDF, are all about global justice, based on articles from the New Internationalist, a cooperative in the UK that reports mostly from the Global South. These topics reflect issues in many of the countries that my ESOL learners come from, Sudan, Bangladesh, Syria, Brazil, Mozambique, etc.
We've shared our materials a lot and try out some of each others in our own classes. I tried the ones of Linda's materials on disability set in Peru, protesting gender and the factory collapse in Bangladesh. And learners were really keen and interested to find out about these topics. It really increased their awareness about the whole world and other countries that have similar realities to Benin.
And I then tried out some of the texts about Benin, Nigeria, Tanzania with my ESOL class. Many of them knew very little about Africa, so we did a jigsaw reading task where pairs read different articles about treatment of people with albinism, about palm oil and scarification in Benin, traditional African medicine, African politicians seeking medical help abroad, Nigeria wasting water, attitudes to homosexuality. They were so interested in all these topics. And the African students in the group were really excited to see topics being read about and discussed from their reality, from their countries.
We think that the keys to successful dysentery materials could be these three things. One, working together with teachers, teaching in other contexts completely different from theirs. We get to see that and understand contexts other than the typical European, US context of many course books. In two, based on a syllabus on global issues, we can bring in approaches and contexts all around the world. Example, the Sustainable Development Goals. And finally, teachers writing their own materials alone or in groups that reflect their own local context. Thanks.
That's all from us. Thank you very much.
Okay, so that was the presentation by Linda and Dustu. So as you can see here, the Padlet includes a lot more information about it. This is a very short 5-minute video presentation, but the idea of this presentation is to make it short, to give you the highlight of what they are trying to share with you. And now, since you in the program will have access to the Padlet, you can take the time to look at this Padlet with more time. You can even post comments, ask questions directly to the presenters in the Padlet, okay? I think Linda is here anyway, so I just want to appreciate your contribution to the conference and to this Padlet. Very informative, very well made. So what we are going to do then is to give you the time to explore it later on if you want to. Well, I'm going to just now show you a Padlet in a different room that a different room is looking at, okay? So this is materials and decolonization. I want to show you now a Padlet from a different room. And let's see now the Padlet designed by Maria Marta Mora. She's from Argentina, and she's in a room that has been titled Professional Development, okay? So let's look at her Padlet now. And we are going to do the same thing. We are just going to try to access her presentation.
Hello everyone, I'm Maria Marta Mora and I'm going to tell you about an experience I had last year, in the very, very last period of the year. The title of the poster is Continuing Professional Development Through Mentoring, Pilot Mentoring Non-ELT Teachers in Argentina. Wow. Well, let me tell you about the context. This was done in Buenos Aires in a public secondary school. This is where I work, where I'm a teacher. And let me tell you that teachers were trying to look for more productive continuing professional development opportunities. In Buenos Aires, the Ministry of Education provides some of these instances, but they are always provided by outsider experts. So teachers in my school and myself also thought that the experts are not the outsiders, but the teachers in their own classrooms. So this is what they told the authorities. So I felt that I could do something about that and submitted a project to the school authorities, which was, of course, accepted. So we started with a workshop that was run on Thursdays, every Thursday for 80 minutes. So we formed a community of practice of about 10 teachers of different subjects. And of course, they were subjects taught in Spanish, and teachers didn't speak any English. So what we tried to do was based on these aims. First of all, to demystify outsider experts for professional development, to guide teachers to dig in their own classrooms through exploratory action research. One of the objects was also to foster cooperation, to value individual reflection, and to value group reflection, collaborative reflection, to formulate good exploratory questions, and to design powerful data collection instruments or tools. Well, we started on the project. We started meeting weekly for the workshop, and teachers explored their own classroom realities and issues. All of them had one or two issues related to their classroom work, so they designed their own data collection tools. They collected data, they analyzed the data, they processed it. He processed them, and finally planned for action. Unfortunately, we ran short of time because the end of the year came. So, well, it was a bit difficult to start implementing action. What are the distinctive features of this? Well, first of all, it was carried out in Spanish. It was carried out with teachers who don't teach English. It was in-service CPD, and it was my first experience as a mentor in Spanish. But another thing that was very, very positive was that we had tailor-made mentor-mentee conversations, right? Then we finally collected everyone's opinions about this and everyone's reflections, and some words came up. These words, let me read them out to you, were understanding, engagement, collaboration, effective practice, and local solutions provided for local problems. Well, for this year, 2023, the school year is about to start in Argentina. There are some plans, and these are to organize 2 workshops, 1 per semester, so as to have time to run all the process of CPD, and in particular, the exploratory action research activities, all the steps. So, well, thank you very much for listening, and have a nice conference.
Okay, that was Maria Marta from Argentina, and that is her Padlet. When you have the time later on, you can review this Padlet with more time. You have here, she also included in her Padlet some quotes from participants, which is very interesting to see data from participants themselves and how they experience the process that she's describing for teacher research purposes. And she also included a big poster in her Padlet that shows different elements of the initiative that she's describing. So that is all for you to take a look at later. So finally, so that we take a look at what is happening in the different sessions, we are going to look at what is happening in room number 3. In room number 3, they're talking about teacher communities. So they're showing different initiatives that are related to teacher communities. And one of the Padlets there is a Padlet that is talking about a Facebook community that was created for teachers in Uzbekistan. So I'm going to show you this Padlet. And once again, we are going to take the time to watch the video.
Hello, I'm Nadira Samhamedova, the Hornby alumni 2004 and 2005.
My name is Elena Volkova. I'm Hornby alumni from 2002-2003. Both of us come from Westminster International University in Tashkent. We are from Uzbekistan.
Today we're going to talk about our Facebook group, ELT from Uzbekistan, that I created 4 years ago, and all the activities that we do to support the sense of community.
Over the recent 4 years, we organized more than 200 events within the activity of this Facebook group. And all of these activities are underpinned by 3 very important principles.
The first principle is developing the cognitive domain. In every event that we hold, we make sure that there is something new that our teachers learn. It can be a concept, a technique, a technology, or a skill.
The second principle, very important for us, is development of affective domain. In every activity that we organize, we try to ensure that teachers have opportunities for self-efficacy development, autonomy development, and self-esteem development.
And the third principle is strengthening the social domain. Because teaching is an isolated profession, we all have the need to be together, to learn together, to learn from each other, to learn with each other, as well as grow together. We'll make sure that there are plenty of opportunities to get to know each other, to network, to collaborate, and to cooperate.
Okay, to bring you an example, one of the events that we organized last year in summertime was an English language teachers forum. And because we are an online community, we thought that an offline event is going to be a strengthening opportunity so that people can meet and share. And we wanted this event to be not a traditional conference or a symposium, but to be something interesting and unique. And for that, we created special interest groups and allowed our participants to select the one of their own interest. And then when they were here at the venue of the forum, the egalitarian environment allowed people to communicate freely with each other, and also during the sessions of special interest in group. Every participant had an opportunity to contribute to the solution that they then took away from the forum to their classrooms. And every participant of the event was valued.
Another example that I would like to give is about the online learning. 2 years ago, the government of Uzbekistan gave free access to the local teachers to take the TESOL certificate program offered by Coursera. It was a great opportunity, but we all know that it is difficult to study online. Motivation starts to fade after some time when we feel isolated and there is no one to talk to. Thus, we organized study group discussions. We would meet once a week, and we will all share our ups and downs, what we learned throughout this week, what challenges we had, what questions we had. We would support each other and even push each other. As a result, over 50 teachers could complete this course on time and get their certificates. And most of the teachers, they claimed that they did that thanks to these, our study groups.
These are two examples, and we have so many ideas for the future. We plan to organize something else, but sometimes I come to question where Nadira, who is our initiator and main organizer, takes all her energy. And I wonder how she does it, but I know that she does it with the help of other people, correct?
Oh yes, I would like to thank all the participants who were active and enthusiastic over these 4 years, as well as the organizations, including the British Council in Uzbekistan, US Embassy in Uzbekistan, Westminster International University in Tashkent, Macmillan Publishers, Hornby Trust, as well as many local and international universities here in Tashkent, as well as governmental agencies.
And we are growing. From several participants of the Facebook page, now we are about 8,500 teachers, not only from Uzbekistan, but from other countries as well. We even have our own website now.
And this was made possible by the Hornby Alumni Small Grant that we received with Yelena. And thank you to the Hornby Trust for believing in us, for being the strong community.
Okay, so that was a presentation by Nadira and Elena talking about the community in Facebook in Uzbekistan. And so there you have an idea of the Padlets that were being discussed and shared in the different rooms. So I showed you 3 different Padlets, 1 from each room. The idea now is in the following 15 minutes, you have the freedom to explore the different Padlets that are part of the 3 different rooms. So right now in the next 14 minutes, then we have about 14 minutes left for the next session, you have the freedom to, in this time, you can stay in this room, but I'm not going to just present or show any information to do anymore. We are going to just give you the time to go over the program and check the different Padlets in your own time, go over them, check the videos, see the ones that you like based on the topic. And so that in this time, you use the time to interact with the different Padlets, okay? Remember that you can post comments on the Padlets. You cannot change them, but you can post comments on the Padlet that potentially the Padlet creators will be able to react to later, okay? So I will leave you then with the program. I think I